Yeah, well, this is week 4 of 5. I was here for 2 weeks in March, and I'm back now for 3 weeks in your winter, my summer, although the weather behind us is pretty lovely today. Big surprises so far. Well, maybe it's not a surprise, but I'm thrilled to be tasting the 2025 vintage. It's a really fantastic vintage, both the reds and whites, although I haven't tasted some of the top reds yet from 25. Best vintage for me since 21, and up there with 17 and 15 as one of the great Cape vintages. So that's been the highlight of my tour so far. I mean, I first came here in 1990. It was a different world. You know, this was pre-94 and the return of democracy. You know, Mandela had just come out of prison. It's a different country, it really is. And I think that's reflected in the wine industry, that the wine industry has changed dramatically, that many of the producers today who are amongst my first growths, my top producers, didn't even exist in 1990. And the number of great wineries and the focus on terroir, on land, on site, has just transformed the whole industry. And I think South African wine generally has gone from being a sort of second-tier nation in wine terms to being a first-tier nation in terms of the quality of its wine. So the transformation in 35 years has been great, and it's been a privilege for me to be part of it in a small way and to witness this thing happening, to see this transformation in a single wine-producing country's industry. I would start with Chenin. I think Chenin is the emblematic South African grape, and it's been here pretty much since the start. We don't know exactly what was planted in those early vineyards in Constantia or even in Cape Town, really, but I think that I'd start with Chenin. It's an easy grape to understand in many ways, but it's also incredibly complex. You can get cheap Chenins, which are very good value and some of the best value wines in the world for me, but I wouldn't miss out on the diversity of South Africa. South Africa can make everything, from fortified wines to sparkling wines, via Sauvignon Blanc, white blends, Syrah, Merlot, Cabernet blends, Senso, Semillon. You know, South Africa's got a bit of everything. So don't be afraid to experience the diversity. Don't just stick with Sauvignon Blanc and Merlot, which are very popular and justifiably so. But I'd make sure that you really enjoy that complexity and diversity and focus on regions if you can. I mean, lots of wines are labelled as Western Cape, and that's fine. But the more time you can spend delving into individual site-specific wines, I think the more you'll get out of the wines. South African wine, I think, is still underpriced. That means it's great news for the consumer because they're great value. Maybe it's less good news for the producer in some ways, and I think that some of the great prices are not as high as they should be. So great news for us, the wine drinkers, possibly slightly less good for the producer, as I said. But I think that the value that's offered by South African wine is almost unparalleled in the world. I mean, the only country I think that comes close for me is Spain, and Spain's wines are also undervalued. So take advantage of it while you can and drink these amazing wines, because they're going to go up in price, especially the smaller volume wines, which are from smaller producers often and are focused again on site-specific wines. I think those are going to go up and up and up in value the more people realise what fantastic wines South Africa offers for the price. I think Chenin is what South Africa does best and dominates globally. The only other place really in the world that grows Chenin Blanc in significant quantities would be the Loire Valley, and I would say that, you know, those two are on a par really. But South Africa has more Chenin Blanc than the Loire Valley, and it's grown in more places. So I think that would be the number one. My number two would probably, and this may surprise people, be Syrah. I think South Africa is better known for its Bordeaux blends and its Cabernet Sauvignons, partly because of the importance of Stellenbosch to the industry. But I think what's happened with Syrah in the last 10 years, particularly Syrah's grown on granite soils, whether it be you know, in the Paardeberg in the Swartland or in the Polka Dry Hills in Stellenbosch and other places, has been phenomenal. So I would really focus on those two things if you want to see what South Africa does best and in a global, world-class way.